Good evening, everybody. We're just cranking through some reviews here in BD.
Yes, sir.
I'm Hunter here, and I'm here with fellow entrepreneur Colin. Colin, how you doing, sir?
Hello. Good evening, and welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, yes, sir. And we're here to talk about a movie. So I will preface this review with a little asterisk saying I'm going to get a little real on this review.
I'm excited.
Not that I don't normally, but a little more maybe than I normally do.
I think I'm excited for you to get real.
Well,
I'm ready to get real.
Well, good.
It's a little different taste of what we do here at Real Pineapple.
It is. It's. Because, I think we...
Sometimes we get pineapple, and sometimes we get real.
Nice. I see what you did there. But I feel like we do... I think, objectively, I think we do a pretty good job of taking, something like Guardians of the Galaxy, which we should record after this, and then doing something like, maybe, an Interstellar Birdman. I think we do a good job mixing up what we do. I don't think we do all just comedies or all just, a certain genre. But I would probably say this is probably the darkest thing that we've reviewed ever. Because this is not the Skeleton Twins. Just, if the title doesn't really give it away. Not the happiest movie in the world. It definitely, especially the way the movie starts, you're just kind of like, damn, okay, it right from, and this isn't a spoiler, Bill Hader's character, which I should have that here, Milo. I was trying to think of his first name, but
and Otis,
and which is we should do a review of Milo and Otis. Why haven't we done that yet? But he starts off in the bathtub and he'd cut. It was his wrist, right? Was it his wrist or was it his ankle?
Yeah. So how the movie starts is so we're talking about Skeleton Twins.
Yeah.
And the movie is with Bill Hader and Kristen Wigg going a little bit out of their comfort zone. I would say easily.
Well, see, I would say a little more for Bill Hader because Kristen Wigg, she's done some dramatic stuff. Bill Hader hasn't.
That's
really.
fair.
Because she did A Girl Most Likely and she did Friends with Kids, so she's done a few dramatic things. But I can't really think of anything dramatic Bill Hader's done.
So compared to them working together, which is the last time they worked together was in SNL.
And then they did Adventureland. They were in Adventureland together.
Right, yeah. Right. So now they're doing this this film where they're they're lead 1A, lead 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
And they're brother and sister, and so like you were getting at, the start of the movie is literally Kristen Wiig looking at a pile of pills in her palm. And they're obviously, some type of sleeping pills to commit suicide. And while she's, about to take them, she gets a phone call. And on the other side of the scene, you see Bill Hader slitting his wrists in the bathtub. So they're clearly two very, very depressed people that have not been in contact with one another. You find out very shortly. For like a decade, right? Yeah. And the whole movie is them kind of rekindling their relationship after both of them have basically hit rock bottom. And it goes on from there. So that's the premise. The premise is two very depressed people, Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader, playing these two characters, going off from, a relationship together where they're brother and sister, have not seen each other in like a decade. Kristen Wiig finds out about Bill Hader's suicide attempt, and you find out right away that Bill Hader is a gay actor, or he's aspiring actor in Hollywood with no agent. And Kristen Wiig lives where's the movie based out of?
She lives in New York. I can't remember where he lives.
He lives in L.A.
Is it L.A.?
He lives in L.A.
Right.
So, yeah, he's an aspiring actor in L.A. So he moves to New York. So they're on two sides of the country, and basically she goes to visit him in the L.A. hospital, and they go back together to New York. And Kristen Wigg has her husband and her
Lance.
white picket fence type life with Lance,
played by Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson, yeah, who
hasn't been around a while. I haven't seen him in anything.
Yeah, who is summed up best by Bill Hader's character in saying like, "Oh yeah, he's just like a Labrador Retriever. He's perfect. He's just like the big, friendly, cuddly, happy, best husband you could ever imagine."
Yeah.
And compared to like what Kristen Wigg is clearly unhappy, trying to commit suicide at the start of the film. So I mean that's the premise. This is literally like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Everything that I just talked about, and it goes from there. So. What'd you think?
The problem is, this is one of those movies we can talk about, but we can't talk about it too much in depth without spoiling shit, because there is a lot of stuff that happens in the third act where you're just kind of like, wow.
The third act is very intense in this movie.
So we can't really... so if you kind of go like, why are you guys dancing around stuff? Because I feel like for us, it would be a disservice to legitimately spoil some of the big stuff that comes up, because all this stuff builds to, as you said, an intense third act. Ty Burrell plays a character named Rich, who, I mean, even saying what his relation is a huge spoiler. But I will just say that when you kind of find out what happens with him and how he's relevant to the story, you are just kind of like, damn. Like, it is just one of those, it's one of those gut punches where you're just like, it's an uncomfortable gut punch, but the way it's wrapped up, I personally was very satisfied with it. But it is it's an uncomfortable subject that's brought up, and if I'm going to give this movie credit for anything, even though I'm going to give credit for a lot, it's probably something that's not brought up enough as far as what his character is about and what his character has done. It's something we like to turn a blind eye to. And I appreciate this movie for having the balls to actually go there and address it head on. So I give the movie a lot of credit just on that alone. And Kristen Wigg and Bill Hader, they play so well off each other, and it's very clear that them being on SNL did nothing but help them, because to see them play off each other in this movie, you're just sitting there. It's like, it feels like they've done this 100 times, and obviously on SNL they did to an extent, but not this dramatic end of the spectrum. But this is one of the best roles I've seen Bill Hader in. I know we just watched the To-Do List again like a month ago, and we were laughing about how great Bill Hader was in this. In that, he's fantastic in this. You feel bad for him. You feel bad for Kristen Wigg too, and you're just, and to kind of pull for myself here, and to kind of jump around, because I will as I talk about my opinion on this. I remember being so pissed off when people were like so mad about Robin Williams committing suicide. I remember so many people being like, "Well, he's dealing with depression. Why doesn't he just get over it?" As someone that deals with depression, it's not that simple, and this movie does a really good job of telling you, like, it's something it's a day-by-day thing you have to take. And these people they have their good days, they have their bad days. And when they have their bad days, they're really bad days. I mean, there's a couple times they suicide, hell, it's an overarching theme of the whole film, suicide. And it's not pretty. It's not dealt with in a, quote, Hollywood, unquote, sort of way. It's not glossed over. It's very intense. It's very real. The way the movie starts, like Colin was saying, it's a very real and uncomfortable at points look at what it's like and how these people are trying to just fill things in their lives to just feel anything. And it's and like I said, it's uncomfortable at points to watch, and I found myself break down a couple times. Again, unfortunately, at points I can't talk about because it's spoiler material, but you watch this and you're just like, there are very few actors I feel that could have actually pulled this off. As far as the chemistry between the two leads, they might have been able to pull off individually, but a big part of this depends. Hell, the film depends on the chemistry between the two leads and being able to sell this. And Bill Hader and Kristen Wigg working so well together on SNL, it felt like it prepared them for this. So I thought this film was absolutely incredible. Like I said, it's uncomfortable, it's hard to watch, but I loved it. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Please.
No. I loved it. Everything you said was great. To go on what you said, I think the best part of this movie is, as you touched on, the chemistry between Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader's characters, and because they have had this history in SNL. But yeah, it's a really touching movie. It's a really real movie to anyone that's ever dealt with depression. I know I have in my time. There was a time after I graduated college where I was very alone for a couple years, and it's kind of almost comforting to watch something that is so real, where you see something where you're like, you know what, like, it's okay to talk about these types of things. It's okay to, like, portray these types of things, and then at the same time continue on and show how, easily it is to get over it, like, with the help of someone you actually love, someone you actually know very well, and no one could have accomplished that better than Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader in this movie together with their chemistry. They play the siblings. We right before we started doing this podcast, we watched two of the scenes, which I would probably classify in the second act, where the second act is... Yeah. So I would classify the first act with the awkwardness, and then Bill Hader coming to New York, and the awkward period of getting him settled in the house and getting going and just kind of getting settled. And then all of a sudden, the start of the second act is this beautiful scene where he goes to the dentist office where she works, and she's like a dental hygienist, and they start doing taking the nitrous oxide and getting a little high, and they really just open up to each other, and they really start being fun, making each other laugh, and you just realize life isn't that bad. Like, what's the worst part about life? Being alone. Like, there's nothing worse than being alone, and that's exemplified in this movie with Bill Hader being alone in California, being a struggling actor, and Kristen Wiig being in this New York marriage, which is just not her, clearly. And, like, she's married, and she's doing what she thinks is the right thing to do for, her generation of, just being a woman, and she's just taking all the wrong advice type of thing, and she's probably not in love with this guy she's married with, and she is alone. Like, she's married, and she seems like she should be happy, but she's alone, and it's like two very different examples of depression, and how these two people can come together, and then they're not alone anymore. They're together. They can share each other's problems, and they have this scene where they get high at the dental hygienist office, but then they share each other's secrets, and all of a sudden they're not alone anymore. They know each other's secrets, and there's nothing like being honest and open with someone and sharing your deepest, darkest skeletons in your closet, hence the skeleton twins. Your dark secrets, you sharing it with someone else. Like, you let your skeletons out of the closet, and then all of a sudden they're not alone. They're not depressed. They're open. They're happy. Shit happens. Obviously, it's not a perfect situation. Like when you're when you're taking nitrous oxide and you're sharing everything open and honestly. So the whole second act is just awesome because they're friends, they're funny, they're awesome. There's another scene where he's trying to lift her up after she's feeling down, and they have the whole dance scene, lip syncing this great song from this old 80s film. And I mean, oh man, that's the movie, man.
Yeah,
the chemistry between these two is just phenomenal. It's a dark, sad subject matter, but a very uplifting movie as you watch it and as you realize, you know, the love that these characters have for each other and, you know, the community that's brought upon each other. It's really, really, really uplifting film. After watching the two of them together,
you know what it really, and before we get to ratings here, you know what it really made me think of? It made me think of how people were trying to classify funny people as a dramedy. I was like, no, this is a dramedy. Like, this is how you do a dramedy.
Right.
Like, you have a lot of drama, and yet you have those moments that keep it light, so you're not just, like, super depressed, like, the whole time. Because, like, admittedly, like I said, it's a depressing subject matter, and there are some dark points in the film, but there are those points where, you know, it does give you the opportunity to laugh, where you go, like, oh, okay. And it helps you. It helps carry you through. You know, those points where it does get a bit murky, a bit dark, and a lot real. If you want to get put it that way. So I enjoyed this film so much. In the next couple weeks, as we do our top lists. For 2014, this is going to be on my list. I thought this was an incredibly well done film. I want to give a shout out to the Duplass brothers who were producers on this. Yet again, doing something great. Of course, safety not guaranteed. Right there in their wheelhouse as well. But this was an incredibly well done film. Anyone and I'm gonna bash this girl, but I don't care. When people go like, "Oh yeah, there aren't any like cute like female comedians," and sometimes they'll go like, you know, like Whitney Cummings, who's atrocious, or Amy Schumer, who's kind of hit and miss for me, even though she's grown on me a little bit. Kristen Wigg is not just a comedian; she's an incredible actress. Like, she really is, and we need to give her more props than we've been giving her, because she's not just pigeonholing herself to being a comedian. She's stretching herself, and she's trying to do other things. And this, if she's capable of this, I can't wait to see what else she can do. I was proud of her. I know it's weird to say that about someone you've never met, but I was proud to see her do so well. And I was really proud of Bill Hader, because I'm a really big fan of his as well. And then Phil Dunphy, Ty Burrell doing a great job as well, and Luke Wilson, who, if you've never seen Idiocracy, you really should, because that's a fantastic movie. But
great scene in the third act where he's raw. He breaks from his puppy dog.
Yes, he does.
Character, and you can just tell he just seems like a real, honest dude reacting to a terrible situation.
Yeah, any person who goes through what he has to go through would react in that way. Like, you would have that reaction.
It seemed real. I mean, the best part of this movie, not necessarily the best, but one of the great parts of this movie is just how, it's like watching a documentary, man.
Yeah.
Like, these are real emotions coming out of these actors. Real life situations, real terrible, awkward situations, and just real believable reactions, emotions coming out of these actors dealing with these terrible situations. It's very impressive to watch. Yeah. Very impressive. Lot of great performances in this movie.
So I was like I said, I was so impressed with really everybody in this. Yeah, even the supporting characters were so were so well done and so well played and fleshed out. And I was really kind of going back and forth, but just for the fact that I saw this Tuesday morning, like at 2 in the morning, like at 12 at night, and then actually watched it again before I went to go see a movie we're going to do a review of here in a few minutes. So I actually watched it twice in less than 12 hours. Just on that alone, I have to give this a fan-fucking-tastic. I thought this movie was incredibly well done. And like I said, for those people who go like, oh, you can't be good after SNL, look at Sudeikis, look at Sandberg, look at Wigg, and look at Bill Hader. I mean, they, especially the latter two, because they've done more stuff than just comedy. They deserve a lot of credit for this. And so, yeah, fan-fucking-tastic for me. So,
I love this movie. I've watched it twice already as well. We just rewatched a couple of the scenes. I mean, there's just scenes that I could watch from this movie over and over and over again. This will be one of my favorite movies for a long time. Very, very good film. One of the best I've seen in a long time. It's A+. I mean,
there you go.
It's as good as this type of movie could be. I reserved my fan-fucking-tastics for, like, Pacific Rim level things.
Fair enough.
Which is just my, like, stupid, like, things that I hold on dearly.
Hey, that's what
where
you
it's
like.
That's me. Like, I want my fan-fucking-tastics to be, like, at the end of my life, I want, like, 5. I've only given a fan-fucking-tastic. Like, no offense to your, of course, like, but this is that good, though.
Yeah.
I'm totally in agreement with you. This movie is so good. When I saw the preview for this a long time ago, I never thought it would be this good.
I agree with you on that.
Kristen Wigg and Bill Hader, I thought it was going to be silly and kind of, it'd be like, all right, it'd be like mediocre. It'd be like a high C, B- type of film. This thing's an A+. Yeah. They nail it, man.
Yeah.
This movie nails it. Like a lot of films just try and fail. This one's a good one. This is a keeper. This is a really good one.
Right, so yeah, see, there you go, guys. So go ahead and please. I know it's on Amazon now. It's on Redbox, so you have no reason to not
buy
see
it.
it.
Go buy it on Blu-ray.
You should
buy it. Keep it. Watch it. Tell your friends. Make them buy it. Get this movie some money. This movie needs revenue. Like this is a good movie. This movie deserves a lot of money. Watch it, buy it, share it.
Well said, man.
I love it.
No, I do
love
too.
It. I want it to be successful, man.
Yeah, and I can't put it any better. So go ahead, please like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple, and like us on subscribe to us on SoundCloud, please, at The Real Pineapple 775, and follow me on the Twitter at J Hunter Real Pineapple. And guys, hang in there with us. We got more stuff coming up for you guys. You guys have a good night.
Later.